I have pressed the button. There are many like it, but this one is mine. Also, hello and welcome to Cause and Effect. This is a Dungeons & Dragons campaign, my last Dungeons & Dragons campaign, but not the last session unless there's a TPK. There might be. There probably won't be, but there could be.
You concern me.
Look, you took a quest that involved the words Red Death.
It also involved the word assist.
Yes.
Clearly you're helping the villain. With their mask. Thank you, I'm here all week.
Mm-hmm.
Which is funnier to me because we record this game on Saturdays.
Well, I mean, a week is a set period of 7 days, right?
Yes, and this is the 7th day, which is when we rest. Oh, I should probably finish the introductions. My name is Crash. I will be your DM for the evening. Tonight, I am joined by a bunch of awesome people, including Beth, Ellie, Io, and Jen. Millie is enjoying family time with sports ball. I think it involves soccer. A lot of people call it football. I'm assuming it's soccer.
Depends on what language you're using.
I am very much sure that it's football, but I'm being silly. Anyway.
Yeah, I know.
What happened last time?
We decided we were going to assist to the Red Death of Plantain.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right,
Okay.
that.
there we are.
It was an intermission episode.
Yes, also we bought things.
Yes. There was a shopping montage, and by shopping montage that I mean there was repeated talks about well, I'm going to get this for me, but I could get this for somebody else. I could get 2 of them and then give 2 of them out.
And I'm still not sure what we ended up doing on that front.
Well,
Or
I
rather,
have
probably forgot.
I drug gear to people's inventories, so if it's in your inventory,
Okay.
it was purchased. Not to draw attention to the chat, but when someone writes BRB bird, it kind of looks like they just wanted to say bird, but typed it too fast. And this amuses me greatly to the point where I felt like I needed to include it in the recording.
That's fair.
Maybe next time when I get ChatGPT created spam messages sent to me about this podcast, it'll mention that. Because we unlocked that achievement for a GURPS Wars game.
Yeah, they clearly didn't watch it, because if they'd watched it, they would have known that the logistics trio outsmarting Sith is like, excuse me, you are Sith.
To be fair, Sith do like to outsmart each other.
And
Yes.
We didn't.
And that
We didn't
particular
do that. That is not what we did.
there was a Sith that was defeated. They were the only non-force sensitive Sith I've ever encountered in any game ever.
They were not an actual Sith. That is what happened.
he
I thought we
was an
checked to see if it
actual
was
Sith.
red face paint. It wasn't red face paint.
No, it was
They
not.
did cast Summon Blaster. I believe that is
The
a force
blaster was
ability.
the blaster was in his pocket. And that's right.
Yes, it was summoned into his pocket. I'm pretty sure that's how it worked. It's like magnets. We just assume you know how it works. But in any case, yeah, so there was shopping. You selected a quest to assist the Red Death of Plantain, and you all go into the teleportation room, stand on the circle. There is a blast of warm air that hits all of you,
Oof.
and I press a button to activate a map.
Dun dun dun, a map.
All right. You are in a roughly rectangular room. It does appear to be carved out of volcanic rock. You do not need a light source because there's a lot of glowing light coming through one of the exits behind you. And, oh, yeah, there appears to be a red dragon with a close to 15-foot wingspan hovering in front of you.
The Red Death, I presume?
What? No. No. I am Major Domo Infrared, servant of the Red Death. And you, I believe, are the adventurers who've come to assist us.
Can I make an insight check on this dragon?
Sure, go ahead and make an insight check on this dragon.
That sounds like a useful thing to do, honestly.
That's a 15.
Nope. Nope. Dragon. Oops.
Well, they appear to be a red dragon that looks very red, covered in dragon scales. They're hovering by flapping their wings at a regular pace. With the 15, it doesn't look like they're not hanging from a string to do this. The wings are creating lift. You're not sure how long a dragon can flap their wings to hover in midair. In World of Warcraft, we've learned that they can do that perpetually until the server shut down. But that you haven't played that game except in the far distant future, which I was going to call it Fantasy World of Warcraft, but that doesn't help. It doesn't really change it.
Yeah.
Their voice is a little bit higher pitched than you normally expect from a red dragon, but also they are clearly a younger red dragon than what you would normally expect to encounter at your level of expertise. They almost certainly picked the name Infrared because they thought it sounded cool.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, that is how a non-zero number of dragons in this setting have gotten their names.
It sounded cool.
The players are aware of this particular volcano and the fact that there is a red dragon residing in it, and they have apparently decided to call themselves the Red Death since the last time a player had a character come here. So, yes.
Okay.
That seems very plausible, yeah.
I still think Montgomery is a fantastic name. What? Oh, no, go back to your adventure. It's fine.
So, you, usually this is the point where somebody asks a question, but you're just squinting and leaning forward a little bit to look at me. You never seen a dragon before?
We took a quest to come here and assist.
Yes. Most adventurers start off asking questions about how they'll be assisting. We've just been standing here in awkward silence while the players behind your characters and the DM were bantering. It started to get a little awkward.
Figured you'd start telling us what we needed to know.
Oh, yeah, you're here for an extermination.
What are we exterminating?
Core worms.
What kind of worms?
Core worms.
What do they
That
look like?
makes much more sense than what the player heard, because what the player heard was floor worms.
Core, floor,
yeah.
pretty similar.
They come through the floor. Why do you think I'm hovering?
Hobby
Of course, they
looks
also
ready
come through
to
the
leap
walls. Occasionally the
twice her
ceiling.
height.
Most of them are quite small, but there is a mama worm that is laying lots of eggs, and it's getting to be a little bit of a problem. They like to tunnel through things.
Have we got any ivermectin for it?
Do you think we can source enough for a whole volcano?
Oh, we could stuff
So
it
you
down
want us to deworm the volcano?
Yes. Yes, you need to deworm the volcano. You're not the first group of adventurers to accept this quest to come in, but most of them just killed a few of the babies and said they were done, and they were like, okay, here's your money. And then there were more worms because they hadn't killed the mama, just a bunch of the babies and thought they were done. A few adventurers got eaten. That happens too.
It is a hazard of the job.
Well, yes, and the hazard of having core worms. I mean, the Red Death isn't going to get eaten. That's not going to happen. But, you know how us dragons are.
Can't get to where the mom worm is, and therefore you can't actually stop it at source.
Well, possibly could if tried hard enough, but the Red Death is busy. And, I'm a major domo. I'm kind of busy too. Well, with managing adventurers, counting the treasure, making sure all the various minions get paid, making sure I get paid, all that kind of stuff. But speaking of getting paid, the Red Death, in their magnificence, has acquired a significant amount of treasure that tends to be stored in the volcano. And, some of it got eaten.
The treasure?
Yeah.
So if we open up the core worm that's laying all the eggs, there might be treasure in there?
The mama, yes. Also the babies.
Okay.
I mean, yesterday they went through, the potion stockpile. That's a bit of a mess.
Sounds like a problem.
Yeah,
How-
that's,
Considering that your major domoness appears to be a dragon, and you say that the baby worms are small, by small do you mean smaller than us or bigger than us?
smaller than you, but they hunt in packs.
Oh, that's bad.
How big are
Yeah.
the packs?
It depends.
Mm.
The mama's kinda sorta intelligent. The babies are not at all.
I don't suppose that the mother worm is smart enough to negotiate with.
No.
Mm.
Pity.
If you were to judge the mama's intelligence on a score of 3 to 8, using just totally arbitrary numbers, well, 3 to 18, using totally arbitrary numbers, she'd rank about a 6.
And are we here to clear them out or destroy them?
Yes.
Okay.
And
I think
if
the
you
Red
find
Death
any,
doesn't care.
Hmm?
I think the Red Death doesn't care where they go as long as they're not here.
All right.
well, clearing them out can be synonymous with killing them. So,
Ah.
and
Right, but it doesn't have to be.
We
As
might
long
be
as
able
they're not here.
Right. We might
And-
be able to relocate them humanely with a big enough trap.
they're not humans and neither are we. So, you don't need to do it humanely. Also, you're not a human. And, neither are you. Neither are you. And, didn't see you there. Neither are you.
Bing, bing, bing.
All right. Where are we headed?
Well, you walk around, they'll find you. And there's just a matter of, finding a big enough tunnel and following it down until you find the mama worm. One last thing. Insurance is covering a lot of the losses right now for the treasure and stuff. So anything you find in the lava worms, fair game. You can keep it. We're already getting a check cut for us for that. Just
Good to
don't
know.
be hunting lava worms in the treasure room.
Right. Makes sense. Chase them out of the treasure room if we find them there, and don't hunt them in the treasure room. Got it.
Yeah. So, off you go.
Yep.
Have fun.
You
Don't get
too.
eaten.
All right. So at this
That's
point,
love.
Hobby has started moving and Tex has started moving. I'm going to ask both of you to make stealth checks at disadvantage.
Ooh, do we have to make sure not to
And Mech
walk
can-
not in
Mech has started
cat
moving.
instinct?
Mech also needs to make a stealth check at disadvantage.
Okay.
Cavill, I'm assuming, is flying. Cavill is going to be fine.
Cavill is flying and Cavill is casting a spell.
What spell is Cavill casting?
Pass
Pass without
trace.
trace. Ah, okay. So these rolls, we're adding 10 to them.
All right. What was the thing to roll? Sorry.
Stealth at disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
So
At
when you
disadvantage.
click
What
on the
happens when
stealth
I have
thing,
proficient?
I'm sorry. What?
that proficiency adds to the bonus for what you're rolling. You don't have to add that in manually.
Okay, good.
So for mech, when you're looking
Uh-huh.
at all your skills on your first tab of your character sheet, stealth is
Mhm.
second from the bottom.
Okay.
Click on the word
So-
stealth, and then click on the
Okay.
word disadvantage.
Okay.
Which of those two 13s are you going to take?
For a total of 20.
Yeah.
And
All right.
You are capable. You are not
Technically-
walking in rhythm. You will not attract the worms.
Mhm. Yep.
Did we break Crash?
I don't know.
I am. You don't have inspiration, which means now you do.
Me or who? Who are we?
Hobby.
Thing.
Ah,
Because Beth quoted Fatboy Slim.
I see.
did?
Yes.
Who
I
was
thought I
quoting
quoted Dune.
Dune?
It made you
Ah.
crack up anyway. I still win.
Okay.
I've watched the music video for that song more often than I've read Dune, although I have read Dune. And none of the sequels, because I looked at the plot summary and it gets weirder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Apparently, a reporter asked Frank Herbert if he was trying to start his own religion, and he was like, "Hell no."
It's a nuisance.
Well, apparently he wouldn't have been the first sci-fi author to do that.
See? It's a nuisance. Don't do it.
Hubbard did that, and look where it got him. I'm not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So with Plas, yeah, that's a word. With Pass Without a Trace cast, Tex got a 20, Hobby got a 21, Met got a 30. That only leaves me rolling for A.
Hey, you're sneaky. You can do it.
A got a 29.
Wow.
Nice.
All right. So yeah.
With disadvantage. Nice.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the wonderful world of high-level adventurers.
I like it.
Okay.
Yep.
So Tex is wandering off on what appears to be a lava tube, or possibly, because you've just been told about what core worms are, possibly dug out by a hideous monstrosity tube. To the south, if you go to the northeast, that leads to a ledge that is overlooking what appears to be a very large lava lake.
Good to know.
I'm not going that way any further. Don't think I need to
Okay.
look for worms there. This volcano needs to be dewormed.
This episode is called Pest Control, but I may change the name to Deworming a Volcano.
Yep.
That's a little long.
Hmm.
All right, and you're just going to leave Chadrick in the room with the red dragon. It's fine. We're all fine here.
I mean, it's basically what Chadrick would have wanted.
Yeah.
That's what Chadrick would have wanted.
Yeah, there's no bathroom for him to hide in.
I was
this
going to
time.
say, I'll ask where the bathroom is and install Chadrick there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, honestly, I had kind of assumed that basically Chadrick was doing the hang on, I gotta go use the little adventurer's room. You all go on without me. I'll catch up.
I am merely joking about this, but my usual train of thought for a player not being here, I've said this to all of you before, but for the sake of the recording, is if a player isn't able to play, their character was there also. They were just off camera the entire time.
Mhm.
All right.
Yes, but this is Chadrick, so we would know where Chadrick was when Chadrick's off camera.
I've been not
Except that
quite here the whole time.
Chadrick is trying to be more useful.
Well, yes, but sometimes you really do have to visit the little adventurer's room, and
And that's when the
And-
T-Rex comes over and breaks the walls apart and then eats half of your body.
well, unless you're a paladin who can probably like smite it and stuff, but sometimes you gotta go, and you're just stuck there for a while.
I will not make the volcano do a barrel roll, though,
Thank you.
I sure hope not.
yet. All right.
Do we have to keep making stealth rolls, or was that a?
I will ask you to make stealth rolls again, but I'm going to hold on to those rolls you've made for a little bit. So you can
Okay.
keep exploring down the passageway.
Well,
For the,
I'm as far as I can get from Cavil without trace. breaking.
Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to select your characters and toggle combat state so people can
Rolling.
roll for initiative, and I can ask you what you're
Normally-
doing in an order where I don't forget somebody. Oh, I also added the Raven.
Oh,
Well, yeah.
okay.
I'll just change the number to be the same as Cavil's.
Yeah.
So
Crossed swords tab and hit the die that's next to your character.
Oh,
That'll
Correct.
get it.
That.
Yeah.
I think I did that wrong. So let's try again.
Cross swords is combat encounters up at the top, and then
Raven
Raven got
I,
one
I
thousand.
seem to have
Normal, yeah.
somehow by typing 10, I have given the Raven an initiative roll of 1013. The Raven last went at the dawn of time. I don't believe that should be accurate.
It is probably because I rolled a 13 for the Raven as you were typing, and Foundry decided that's how to resolve that problem.
You look over at your Raven familiar, there's just a skeletal form.
I mean, it's a familiar. Consider.
Smallest
it might
temp would
be
approve.
just fine. Yeah, that too.
No, you're from the far future, not the far past.
How do we know the Raven's not from the far past and the far future?
I'd know.
Okay, point.
Okay. So I'm going to tell you this lava tube continues to the south until it starts to bend to the west a bit. Tex is furthest forward. I'm going to assume that you're all going to continue down this passageway until something happens.
Yeah, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I will tell you if you continue down a little bit more, you're going to see it's going to open up into a larger room.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. And
I
You
am
can
once again
continue
as far away as I can get from Cavill.
all of you move your characters individually to get into there and position yourself where you want to be. You're going to get there unhindered with your current stealth rolls.
Okay.
Don't worry, I am staying in the back and near the ceiling. Unless the tunnels are really, really tall, and being near the ceiling would be a problem, which might be accurate considering dragons live here and dragons are big.
Well, this passageway appears to be way too small for a larger dragon.
Hmm.
A dragon the size of infrared there.
Infrared could probably make it through here if they folded up their wings and squeezed through some of the spots.
It would have to be a large dragon the size of a small dragon.
I was thinking that.
Polymorphed into a boulder.
Oh no.
Is this
Where we should be.
the larger room, or is there still further larger?
Well, this larger room does have an exit if you consider the passageway you've been taking as the entrance. On the opposite side, in the northwest corner, is a very large opening that appears to branch off in two different directions. Both of them have glowing light coming from them, but there's a lot more glowing light coming from the north because that appears to be that same lava lake you encountered earlier.
The same lava lake, yeah.
Yes, and at this point, I'm going to ask you all to make stealth check to disadvantage again.
Okay.
Hang on, I want to take a screenshot
Go ahead.
because this lighting situation is very funny to me for some reason.
Yeah. By the way, I did get this map from Fizban's Treasury of Dragons. So I'm not the one who put the walls in place. But yeah.
I forgot what I'm supposed to roll.
Stealth at
Stealth
disadvantage again.
Stealth disadvantage. Okay.
So we've got a 22. We've got a 25. We've got a 19. The lowest roll so far is a 19.
Well, that's what happens when we're all rolling with plus 10 bonuses.
Yes. And a 23 for mech.
It's a good thing my armor is mithril, or I'd be rolling a double disadvantage.
I mean, you roll 4 times and take the worst?
No, double disadvantage doesn't exist.
That's
was a
almost Oh.
Yeah, double disadvantage and double advantage, neither one exists. They will cancel each other out. And I've heard mixed commentary on whether or not you can stack them for the sake of canceling out more of the other thing, or no, they just cancel each other out. It depends on when you're stacking them. All right, so it looks like
We
the
have to
party
stack
is...
them at the table with dice, you know?
Why
There's
did
another
Meg
sideways
keep
volcano
getting
off to
further
the
and
southwest.
further away?
Ellie is pointing out that to the southwest, you can see the cross view of the volcano caldera to show you what it looks like from the outside if you cut the volcano in half. Yeah, that volcano fell over, then sank into the volcano.
Whoops.
Why am I sideways?
I don't know.
Because you tried, yeah.
Okay.
Did you
How
click
do I-
on yourself and then scroll?
Oh, maybe.
I can
I
fix
didn't
you.
think so. I didn't deliberately. No.
I mean, you're flying. Who knows what?
Just because I'm flying doesn't mean I want all the blood to rush to my head.
All right, so it looks like you're continuing to avoid the caldera, which,
Yeah.
it's fine. That's very warm. And you've gone
I'll
down.
go bask in it when there aren't worms. I mean, it seems like it'd be a great place. You just sort of lie on the ledge, and it's like, yes, warm, and I can just sort of spread out and turn into a liquid.
Okay, Tex and Mech, I'm gonna ask you to hold up because you're moving ahead
Yes.
at a pretty good pace.
Oh, okay.
And I'm gonna ask you to make another stealth check at disadvantage for this new room you've encountered, which extends out to the south more. The passageway you just went through, it got very narrow at one spot where it was just like maybe a little over 10 feet wide, which is
Mhm.
the narrowest you've seen so far. You don't think there's any way that the Major Domo would have been able to make it through that one.
All right. Is it a stealth check or?
Stealth
Another
disadvantage.
disadvantage stealth check.
Okay.
The lowest roll
I
so
made
far
mine.
is a 16 from Tex.
I got a 23 without the bonus.
So yeah, you got a
Yes,
33.
16.
Yeah.
Cool.
But also you're a rogue.
And a cat.
And
I briefly cannot figure out where I am. There we are.
You're right below where I am.
you were so good at your stealth check that you lost your character.
I'm not even making them because I'm flying.
Oh, right. Yeah.
This is true. All right. So, Tex and Mech, you've been taking point and going through the tunnel. And as you get 20 feet down this tunnel, with the rogues and the bard trailing behind you, you hear a rumbling sound coming from back the way you came.
Of course.
Perhaps those are the
Um,
worms.
Back
Hmm?
the way we came, like behind the rogues, and the
Well,
bard, or
no, from behind you. I have
Okay.
just made a horribly rendered image of core worm babies appear on the
Oh.
map.
Okay.
They have very
little
angry eyebrows.
faces.
Yes.
They have little angry grr mouths too, it looks like.
Mhm.
Yes, and I am going to add them to the initiative order. For crying out
Swarm!
loud, everyone's going at 10. And by everyone, I mean Cavil and a bird are also going at 10. So,
Okay.
yeah, there is a rumbling and a whole bunch of worms dig out from underneath where A was just about to step. No, seriously, A had not put their foot down there yet. Honest, it wasn't them. They didn't do this.
Mm-hmm.
It couldn't have been them.
Okay, what did you roll?
A number.
Okay.
And I pressed the begin combat button. Tex, you're up with a 23.
I have something interesting I'd like to do, but let me know if this is way too much, and I will back off. I'm trying to lean into the Battle Master thing,
Mm-hmm.
and as such, before I take my action, I'd like to ask, given the state that we're in right now, if you had to act right now, what would you do to everybody?
Probably cast Eldritch Blast because I'm concentrating on something already.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you've got a concentration spell up.
I'm thinking Gray of Frost, honestly.
All right. So you don't need to be close to them.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But you
Uh,
are.
Well, I'm kind of close to them, yeah.
Mech, I assume that your approach is going to be rage and run in.
Yep.
Okay. How about A?
Yep.
A, when you first met A, would likely have done a bit more of a try to run and hide thing, but it's likely that A, in this particular case, would try to stand their ground and stab it with psychic knives.
Okay. And the psychic knives they're a ranged weapon.
They
Right.
can be ranged or melee.
Okay.
As written, I think they're supposed to be just ranged, but for crying out loud, if Hawkeye can stab someone with an arrow that he's holding, A can stab someone with a psychic knife.
I
Fair
think they're
enough.
both.
All right. I need to double check something, and then I will take my action.
Yeah, they're simple melee weapons. They have the thrown property, so you can throw them, but they're melee weapons.
Stab, stab, stab.
Every now and then I learn that a house rule isn't actually a house rule.
Okay. Movement in 2 parts. First part, moving here.
Tex moves so quickly that she clips through a wall.
Yes.
I mean,
I know
yeah,
you go around it, but
punch.
still.
If it's a fragile
Go
wall,
right
does
here.
she? Does she really go around it?
Mech, I'm gonna ask you to wait until it's your turn to do that, though.
Oh, okay. I didn't
Okay.
realize that
Yeah,
moving
it's-
was not allowed yet. Okay, go
Well,
ahead.
Yep.
combat has started, so
Okay,
in
that's
this
fine.
particular case, we're each waiting our turn.
That's fine.
Okay.
A 21 is going to hit. Okay. 19 points of damage.
No, that's a second
Oh.
attack.
Oh, 19. A 19 will also hit. I was wondering why I
Oh.
didn't have a button to add the damage. All right, that's 11 points of damage. Applied.
And then movement continued.
Are you trying to invoke an attack of opportunity?
No, I am attacking first so that they specifically don't get an attack of opportunity.
Because you're a battle master.
Because I have the mobile feat.
Ah.
If I make a melee attack, whether or not I succeed, they can't make an attack of opportunity against me until the start of their next turn.
All right. May I add some flavor to this?
Sure.
This is totally based on what I saw happening on the map. Because Tex ran in, she did this damage, and hold on a second, went right through the square that has the core spawn hatchling swarm. Went through the square that has A and is now on the other side of A.
Yes.
I would argue that perhaps you did the damage, not necessarily with Chainbreaker, but by stomping on the worms.
That's entirely possible.
A trample.
And then, because you are a giant murder bot, just stepping over A to
there's one
stop
more
on
thing
the
I'm
other
gonna do.
side.
There's one more thing I'm going to do.
Well, yes. Also, the damage that you rolled, that was for only one attack, wasn't it?
No, there were two. There was a 7 and an 11.
Oh, I see. I clicked for one and not the other. Well,
There we go.
I have solved that problem. Bait and switch. You are going to switch places with a character that you're within 5 feet of. You are only within 5 feet of one character.
It's true. And A gets a +5 AC until the start of my next turn.
A's getting ready to strike, and then just like, whoop! I get...
Yeet.
You run past A, grab A by the collar, and just put A behind you, going, you're here now.
Pretty much.
A may or may not be facing away from the swarm at this point, wondering where everyone went. They'll...
I mean, I'm 7 feet tall and have a 20 strength. I can do that to pretty much anybody.
This is true, except for the correspond hatchling swarm, because there's just too many of them. Why can't you hold
Yeah.
all of these correspond hatchlings?
Anyway, that's my turn. And everybody's in a position where they can do something interesting now.
All right.
Okay. Next up
I have
is
learned
A's
my
turn.
lesson from the dragon turtle.
All right, it's A's turn. A closes in on the hatchling swarm. No. A is going to
Okay.
move diagonally, so A is not throwing psychic knives through a companion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they just have to get past her legs, you know.
Yes. However,
You lean around the leg, you go toss. You know, it's like leaning around a tree trunk, right?
all right. So first psychic blade, and that rolls at advantage because you are currently engaged with the swarm. All right. So that is going to be a hit and a miss, and we are going to roll the damage. A mighty 5 points of damage is done with the psychic blade, except it doesn't. It does no damage at all.
They're immune to psychic damage? That's concerning.
Apparently so.
Maybe they have no minds.
Interesting.
But they're pretty good at digging. Why wouldn't they have a mine? Maybe they don't have a reason to have ore?
In any case, A's done what A can do. Now it's Mech's turn.
Okay, so let me go back up here. Okay, so Mech is engaging her rage protocol,
Mhm.
and she's going to come closer and stomp on the first row.
All right.
Not sure how to make that work, but
Just make an attack roll.
okay.
So in your inventory tab, find your great axe of
Mhm.
intimidation, and if you click on the icon for that, you should see it in the chat. Yep. Just click on the
Okay.
attack button now.
All right, let me see. Attack button.
Should be in
I
the
did
chat.
something wrong. Oh, in the chat.
Go,
Okay.
Yeah, go back to the chat and you'll see it there.
Okay. Let's see. I think I'm a little lost. All right. Damage? Is
So-
that what I should do?
No, click on the button above that. Click attack first.
Attack first. Okay.
It's are you in the chat tab?
The chat tab.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah.
Okay.
If you look over on the right hand side, you've got, remember where we went to the cross swords to roll for initiative?
Right.
The little chat
Okay.
bubbles next to that. Go
Um,
down to the bottom, and the most recent post is from your character for the Great Axe of Intimidation, and you've got an attack button and a damage button at the bottom. Click attack.
okay. Okay. Let me find that. Okay. Let's see, where is the damage on this?
No, attack. Just press attack.
Just press attack. Okay.
Yes.
Let me see if I can find where that is. I'm having a heck of a time trying to find it.
I've shared an image in the chat.
Oh, okay. Okay, got it. So let me do that. It's a great act of something, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, found it. Clicked it. I don't know where it
Yep.
went.
It's there.
Okay, good.
Then the speech
Yes.
bubbles
Now
one.
you need to go to the chat.
To the chat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
If you're looking at in
all right.
Foundry, it's over on the
Mhm.
right hand side.
Okay, there it is. All right, so now I attack. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's an attack. I think.
All right. A 25 is going to hit it a lot.
Okay.
Now you may roll your damage.
Okay, now I may roll the damage. Okay, so normal, right? Or not?
Yes.
Okay. 15.
Okay. 15 points of damage. I will apply that.
Okay.
And now you get to do that again.
Awesome.
So go
Okay.
ahead and scroll up and click that attack button again.
Okay. There we go. Got 22.
All right. That's going to hit. Go ahead and click that damage button again.
Okay, damage. 7.
All right. I will apply that.
Okay.
You, between our two Warforged, a lot of these have been stomped down.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a whole lot left.
Okay.
All right. Cavill. Cavill rolls a 15 with an Eldritch Blast. And a 25 with an Eldritch Blast. And a 20 with an Eldritch Blast. You are Eldritch Blasting these into submission. All three
Do
of
all
those
three
hit.
of those hit? Okay.
Yes. Cavill pulls out a Gatling gun and Eldritch blasts with the Gatling gun.
Isn't that what warlocks are supposed to do?
They don't often get to be this efficient with it. With the amount of times you've rolled for damage, how do you want to do this? You are destroying the last of the ones that were attacking.
Cavill levels 2 fingers at them and fires off in quick succession 3 Eldritch Blasts that do rather make it look like they're shooting worms with finger guns.
And you already have inspiration, so I can't give you any. How dare you? All right. You have destroyed the last of this batch of hatchlings. The ground is now covered in dead worms and very tiny tunnels that they dug up through.
Well, that's one set down and an uncountable number more to go.
A is
We'd better
poking
find
the worms.
the mom.
A is poking the worms with a not magical dagger.
Hey, look what I found.
Worms?
A holds up a small vial.
Oh, right. They went through the alchemy lab.
Yeah. The label looks like it's peeled off a little bit.
Concerning.
I'm just gonna hold on to this for later.
Yeah, sounds
Yeah,
fair.
Okay.
Does anyone else
found it.
want to dig
It's
through
yours.
worm corpses?
No. No, that's okay.
Hobby has daggers. Hobby is a curious cat. Hobby will prod through the worm corpses a little bit and open them up and see if anything's about to explode.
All right. Well, you find several of them have been crushed underfoot and the potions that they had eaten along with them. But you do also find a potion that appears to be intact. And did I just do this right? Does that work as a thing?
Did you drag one into my inventory?
I'm checking. I didn't realize you had soap in your inventory.
I mean, I presumably actually keep it at home.
You do have your alchemy jug, though.
Well, yes, you never know when I might need tea. Catnip tea.
You
Or
never
when I
know
might
when
need
you
to-
might need to live off of mayonnaise.
Indeed. I need to go put up some groceries. Be right back.
All right. I've added a potion to your inventory. And actually, while the groceries are being taken care of, we've been playing for just under an hour. What do you say we take a short break?
Sounds
That
good.
sounds like a great idea.
All right. I'm going to hit pause. All right. We are back. You all have your weapon of choice.
Flamethrower?
I don't think that works for things that live in a volcano.
Point.
All right. And two of you dug through worm corpses and found potions. Also, a lot of broken glass.
Oh, Tex, you crunched them. Good thing none of them had healing potions.
It's possible that they did, but you can't heal a corpse.
I see. If they get smushed quickly enough, it doesn't, the thing.
I would say aim for the head, but these are small enough that if you're aiming for the head, you're going to hit the whole body. Their everything got smushed.
All smush.
Yes.
Yay!
All right. It's quite possible that the only ones that had potions in them were ones that were eldritch blasted to death.
Oh no.
Because everything else was blunt force trauma.
Excellent.
Well, you think it's excellent. I didn't get to.
I didn't get to hit them either.
Yeah, but for you. It's just because you didn't get a turn. I threw things at them and nothing happened.
But now we know that they apparently have no psyche to damage.
Also,
I'm going to make an insight check before I continue this line of thought. Actually, I'm going to ask Cavill to make this insight check. And not just because I rolled a 2 for A.
Well, there was a 2 involved.
Today I learned that A and Cavill have the same bonuses to their insight rolls.
How?
The individual numbers being added are not the same, but the total is.
He has a high wisdom.
A is +1 and +6. Cavill is +3 and +4.
Oh, A has expertise and insight.
I'm only a little kobold, and figuring things out means I get to stay a little kobold longer.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. So it looks like Tex is already trying to head down this next passage.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and do that until you get to the next opening.
So, did anyone else think that dragon was a little odd?
I think all dragons are a little odd.
I
Yeah,
do my
but
best not to judge.
like, if it's the Major Domo, how does it get through these tunnels?
Maybe it doesn't.
Dragons shapeshift.
They what?
I could be a dragon. I'm not, but I could be.
Could I be a
And
dragon?
a dragon? Yes. Maybe?
In theory.
Where did everybody go?
I've heard
Around the corner.
rumors that kobolds can be dragons, but you got to be really, really strong first. And you also need to
Makes
know
sense.
Daldane, but everyone totally knows Daldane, so that's not really a hard requirement.
Well, I don't know.
Check off the references to other campaigns box on your bingo card, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
do that.
Tex has already
got you.
made
Don't worry.
a stealth check and gotten a 17, because I'm assuming that Pass Without a Trace is still being concentrated on.
It was a 3 and an 18, by the way.
Oof.
A got a 22,
32.
Hobby got 30.
Mm-hmm. Tex got 17, and the GM is rolling this as a contest of perception. I think.
I'm
Concerning.
rolling for A.
Well,
Okay,
I am
that
also
too.
rolling for A. I am also rolling for A.
All right.
But yes, I am making other rolls in addition to that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Tex, as you are walking into this next chamber through this tunnel, you hear an additional rumbling, but it is coming from above you, like directly above you.
Okay. Step back, shield up.
Okay. And would anyone object if I kept the same initiative order for the sake of expediency?
I'm fine with
It's
that.
fine. I don't mind going last. It's fine.
Oh, thank goodness I didn't roll a 10. But I stored
see.
these characters on the far side of the map. So my pause is because I'm slowly waiting for them to glide across the map. Like in a certain GURPS Wars map that somebody made.
Well, obviously, what you should do is store some of them, like in the dark spots behind the walls instead. As a precautionary thing.
I stored them in a central location, but it's a big map. So dragging them from the center still takes forever. It just takes forever in every direction.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a way to get them to move instantly. I just don't remember what it is.
You can copy paste, and you can paste them to where you've clicked.
Oh.
Hmm.
But I always
I don't-
forget to do that. So
I'm pretty sure there's a way to get them to move instantly that doesn't require duplicating them. But
That is a
I
thing.
don't remember what it is.
that is a thing that I will look up later. But right now, they got a 17 for their initiative, which means Tex and A are still going before them. So Tex hears a rumbling directly above her, and then just casually steps back, because that is exactly what Tex did on the map. And I'm perfectly fine with that. And a whole bunch of worms just pour out of the ceiling and land on the floor, bouncing around, but very quickly rear up and start facing Tex. And technically the rest of the party too. But Tex gets to go first, because Tex does not get surprised.
True.
Dun,
I don't.
Done.
Also, 23 on initiative is going to beat a 17.
Yeah.
That's a 15 and a 17 for hitting them with Chainbreaker. Those are both going to hit.
Yes. Okay. Well, I'll roll my damage first. And this is 2 separate damage rolls.
And this is me remembering to hit the apply for both of these damage rolls, unlike last time.
Oops.
And in addition, I am going to roll a thing.
Not
Um,
a thing.
Yes, because apparently, as you hit them with Chainbreaker twice, there is something of a reaction.
Oh no.
Yes. It does appear that if I draw a straight line from the hatchling swarm to Tex, it goes through Cavil's spot as well.
The
Cavil
Cavil
is
is in the air.
Hmm?
Cavil is flying.
Cavil is flying, but lightning bolts don't care.
Oh no.
That depends on how tall.
True.
They're
It does.
small worms on the ground.
Oh.
Oops. I did not mean to drag Tex backwards. I put Tex back.
Well, what it depends on is how tall the space I am flying in is. As in, am I in the square above?
Would you be in the square above?
Well, I'm going to be obnoxious and obviate this. Because this is what I was going to do until the hatchlings did their thing. Or
Okay.
took their reaction.
Well, this lightning bolt is going to manifest one way or the other because you're not doing lethal damage. But I'm totally in favor of having whatever you were going to do happen first.
If you had not brought up the lightning bolt, this is still exactly what I was going to do. which is that I'm going to move them right 1 square.
Because Chainbreaker.
No, because Crusher.
Oh, right.
Okay, so you're moving them to the east 1 square, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And now they can react.
They're
And
half
the way
embedded
I
in a
was gonna-
wall, technically, now.
The way I was going to be obnoxious about it is I was going to say the ability says when I hit them.
This is true. This is true. And
Anyway.
I am saying this through a smile. This is amusing me greatly. Because now you're making me think, well, how would this result? Because it's not going to hit Cavill now unless it does.
Well,
I'm reading the description of Lightning Bolt. You know, the text for Lightning Bolt has changed over the years.
I guess it's just going to have to depend on when the wand was created. Is it an old wand or is it a new wand?
Well, here's the thing. Back in the day, in like 2nd edition, Lightning Bolt would bounce off of stone.
Bounce and not be grounded? Oh no.
It was written in the description that if it hit a stone wall, it bounced, it ricocheted.
Great.
That text is not in the 5th edition version. So me reading this description does not mean that I'm going to be saying, okay, well, it hit this wall at a 45-degree angle, and therefore, okay, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. No. It makes it easier for me and easier for you. But also, this text, give me a dexterity saving throw.
okay. Oh, that's the one I'm good at.
I also just looked up their spell save DC. You did not need a bonus. And will this work? It will. Nice. Okay, so if you're just rolling dice and you want to do half damage, you can just put a /2 after the formula, and
Oh, convenient.
it will divide it for you automatically. So Tex, you're going to take 16 points of lightning damage, but there's no ricocheting. Blah.
Okay.
All right. Is there anything else happening on your turn?
Yes. I am moving out of the way so that other people, namely Mech, can get to the worms.
Okay.
All right.
So it's my turn now? Yes,
Uh,
I don't know.
Not yet. A goes next.
Okay. Okay, cool.
And A is going to 5, 10, 15, 20. A is going to make Tex nervous and or upset by rushing into battle with a rusty knife, as one does.
carefully picking their way around the outside so as not to provoke an attack of opportunity.
Actually, A has a short sword in their inventory, and I forgot about that. So A is going to use that. And roll a nat 20, as one does.
Great. As one does.
Yes. So we're going to roll for critical hit damage and apply that. But also, because Rouge,
I was going to remind you if you didn't remember.
as one should.
Mhm.
What is wrong with this?
I don't know.
Well, it wants me to roll 4d6, but I should be rolling 8d6. So what if I do this? All right. And I'm not going to do what it's telling me to do and apply 27 points of sneak attack damage to A.
No. No, that's not.
We're going to apply them to the core worms. All right. They're bloodied.
Yay!
And they've already used their reaction, so they don't get to throw a lightning bolt today. Not today. But it is their turn. They actually get an attack now. You killed the others before they got their turn. They are going to use an ability called Swarm of Bites.
Oh no.
Yes. They are going to try to nom nom Tex. Does a 20... No, that's the... Does an 18 hit?
It does not.
Oh,
The-
good.
They would look adorable if they weren't trying to eat your feet off right now.
For the very first time, we're fighting something that doesn't hit Tex's AC.
You've fought things that didn't hit your AC before, just not recently.
Okay, for the very first time in the last 2 years.
It's been more recent than that because the last time you complained about it was less than a year ago.
All right.
And I was like, okay, yeah, I really need to adjust the combat for things. So yeah, that's their attack.
Yay!
It is now Mech's turn. Mech,
Okay.
I'm going to be kind and gracious and say that it has not been a full minute since you rage. What's the last time you hit something?
Okay.
So you are still raging.
Cool. So I don't have to redo the rage, so that's a thing.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else can I do here? Let's
Shove
see.
past Cavil and smack them with your great axe, most likely.
Yeah, okay. I can do that.
I am flying. I am not sure there needs to be shoving.
Sometimes it's the principle of the thing.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta tuck your feet up for the big, tall warbots.
Yeah.
Picture
alright.
Mech running through, actually making a detour to go underneath Cavil, hitting Cavil by the ankle, so Cavil does a flip in the air.
Okay.
There's a
And
ding
Dignit's
sound.
and- That is funny.
Attack.
Yeah, attack. Oh, I got this twice. So we'll just do a normal one. And what is it?
A 14 will hit this group.
Okay. So they all get hit. Well, at least the closest ones get hit with the great axe of intimidation +1.
And don't roll your damage.
No,
How do you
not
do
rolling
this?
the damage. I'm just gonna scrape the first row of them that are closest to me and fling them over my head from the axe.
You scrape the only ones left moving and possibly a few of them that weren't.
Oh.
And there is a splatter sound and the sounds of shattering glass behind you.
Oh wow. Okay. I guess I'm done.
Yep, and so are they.
Yeah, they are. They're done.
So, I think there were more potions in that group.
Something anyway.
Either that, or one of them was very smart.
Past
Or a-
tense.
For a worm.
Mm.
Well, they're
Yes.
smart enough to avoid psychic damage.
Or dumb enough. Unsmart enough.
Everyone roll a stealth check at disadvantage again.
Okay.
Stealth.
Everyone.
Everyone.
Well,
Okay.
you?
Okay.
Including the flying person?
Including the flying person.
All
For
right.
Oh,
reasons.
no.
I'm trying to remember. Wait, what am I rolling for?
Stealth,
You're rolling stealth at
disadvantage.
disadvantage. But
Stealth
we're
at
adding 10 to your
disadvantage.
roll after the fact, so
Okay, that's fine.
yeah.
Let me figure this out. Stealth.
So when you open your character sheet and you're on the first tab, it's second
Mhm.
from the bottom. And when you
Mhm.
get the pop-up, click disadvantage.
Okay. 13.
Okay.
X with a 17.
There
with a 31.
is an additional rumbling sound.
Just checking. Did anyone here skip lunch and feel like they're extremely hungry?
No, I
I-
think we got another worm.
I have not had lunch for many, many years, but I
Same.
don't feel hungry.
I never feel hungry.
So that's not someone's stomach.
Not
It might be
ours.
the worms.
Well, they're pretty easy to kill.
So far, that's a good point. Perception for which direction it's coming.
With
I'm
a
going to
7,
fly into the room and go up.
idea.
the room is about 15 feet tall at its highest point.
Well, that's a
Well,
good
that's-
amount of up.
With a 7, Tex is going, rumbling? What rumbling?
Bobby's large and sensitive ears, meanwhile.
Hmm.
Well, here's the problem for the 7. Environmentally, you are inside a volcano, so there's always a kind of rumbling, gurgling, hissing sound. That is very effectively going to be white noise to block out a lot of other things. With a 26 for perception,
I have good ears.
the rumbling
Sorry.
might be coming from the caldera in the middle of the volcano.
You mean that thing we've been avoiding?
The thing you've been avoiding, yeah.
Little concerned about the direction that's coming from.
What direction is
well-
it coming from?
Well, we're not there.
It would be from where you are. That would be
I'm asking that in
Hobby would
character.
know it's coming from the northeast-ish.
It's coming from where we left all the lava.
Oh, well, we just won't go there then. It'll be fine.
What if it's the big one?
Then we'll leave it there and it will be fine. Right?
But we
Hobby,
don't
would you
want
mind-
it.
Hobby, would you mind going to check?
Okay.
Oh my freaking gosh.
What did you roll?
I just rolled initiative for this one.
Oh,
my
no.
freaking gosh.
-2.
So the wall to the northeast breaks through. It was very shallow. Well, it wasn't very thick right there. It was a very thin wall. Thin enough that something with a burrowing speed can just break right through onto the other side.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
What is that?
That is the mama.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I think it started getting upset.
Could be.
That looks
And-
concerning.
And, well, yes, it's the art directly from the source book that it came from.
Hmm.
So,
So it has little people in its tendrils and
and
A
there's
great
a
big
windmill
face.
behind it.
Oh, all right.
But it's just the source art from the rule book it comes from. It does not drag a windmill with it.
good to know.
Don
It's got
Quixote
a-
goes, it has a giant's ally.
And then promptly goes off tanking the windmill. Right. And it's got a chompy face surrounded by spiny tendrils like a terrible tentacle flower.
Something like that, yes. But Tex, for all of her lack of perception, is able to notice where this thing is right now. It's like when you finally find that word in the word jumble.
It sure is there.
It becomes so obvious.
Just tad. Just tad.
All right. Tex. And this time I think Hobby will actually have a turn.
I was going
Maybe.
to say, one of these days.
If you are so inclined, I have no problem with anyone choosing to re-roll their initiative for this because you've been stuck at this level for a while.
I'm fine with whatever everybody else thinks.
Okay.
Yep, same. I'll go
Well,
with that.
I'm allowing this on an individual level. You can keep the number you have or you can re-roll.
Okay.
I'm
No,
good
no,
with my
I'm fine.
23.
I'm
Okay.
fine. I go ahead of the corresponds, so I'm fine here.
Tex, are you sure you're okay with 23? You might get higher. You can give it a
It's true.
shot.
I might. I mean, I
All
roll
right.
with advantage, so
Also true. However, no one's going before you unless you count the fact that the correspond worm is coming from the distant past because rolled a -2
yes.
or the far-flung future. Time is a circle.
Very
And so is
timey-wimey there.
All right. Well, it is Tex's turn.
I actually
gonna
am
roll for A.
again going to ask everybody, but I think specifically Hobby and A because their answers might have changed. What they would, in the current situation, if they were going right now, what would you do?
I will be going you're going down, since that looks big enough to actually invoke that. The divine thingy watchet. And probably hit the sword and start heading and just go and slide under Tex's feet and do a sneak attack of you never expected me coming in from this angle.
Gotcha.
A is going to breathe into a paper bag for 3 of the 6 seconds of their turn,
Oh my.
and then probably try to stab it with their short sword.
Okay. Mech, I assume you're still raging, so I assume you're just going to hit it.
Yes. I will hit
And-
it a lot, if possible.
Cavill, do you want to keep Pass Without Trace up?
No,
Okay.
no, that does not seem necessary at this point.
Okay. And
This fight
instead
would have
you're
actually
gonna-
happened
you're-
sooner if you hadn't been doing Paths Without Trace.
Yes, I figured
You
that out.
prolonged
at
the
some point.
adventure.
That's okay.
Perfect.
Oh, you can't even see the windmill. It's clipping through the wall.
No. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's an 18 and a 28. Those will both hit.
Excellent. Once again, 2 separate damage rolls. And that's a wisdom saving throw at DC 17.
Okay, it's very wise. It got an 18.
Huh, sure enough. But that's 9 more damage.
All right.
And the next attack against the target has advantage.
All right. As a reaction, it's going to do a thing.
Not a thing.
Yes.
Thing.
Okay. I gotta read this. Oh my gosh. You're gonna need to make a DC
Rarely-
15 Constitution saving throw.
DC 15.
Yes.
So I've got to roll a 4 or higher.
All right, you make it by a lot. Yeah, 21 is gonna be fine. All right. So, is that everything that happens in your turn?
Yes.
All right. Next up is going to be Mech.
Okay, so Mech is going to move up here, and that's a little well, that's close enough.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna move you to right.
just put me wherever.
Oh, actually, move
Oops.
back. Move south
square.
5 feet. Yeah, 1 square. Because
Oh,
you're
it's
within the
stuck
bounding
now.
box for the core worm.
Oh, I didn't realize. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that.
There we
Let
go.
me move you
Okay,
back.
Got it.
There we go. We're
Yep.
just doing a little shuffling.
That's fine.
That way we can actually click on the characters we want to click on.
Right. Yeah, I just didn't realize there was a
Yeah.
box there. So
Well,
now I know.
Yeah, the art isn't exactly a square, so it's filling in.
It's fine.
It.
Okay. All right.
All
So
right,
we use
great
the
axe,
great
some
axe of
intimidation.
intimidation
Uh-huh.
and attack normal. Yeah.
Yes.
Do I hit normal first or attack first?
Yes. Well, you click attack and then you click normal.
Okay, got it. And normal.
And an 11 won't hit, but you get to do this again because you get 2 attacks.
Okay. I'll try again.
26 is going to hit a lot. Go ahead and click on the
Okay.
damage button.
Okay, damage. And 11.
All right. 11
And-
points of damage.
Jen, would you please cook attack one more time?
Sorry, what?
Please cook attack
Oh,
one
because-
more time.
Oh, I didn't do the right thing. Okay.
No, you
Oh,
did the right
oh, no.
thing.
You did what Crash told you to do.
I did.
Crash forgot that you have advantage on that you had advantage
This
on the
is
first
true.
attack.
Yeah.
Okay.
So roll attack again.
Okay, rolling attack again.
Uh,
12?
well, that was higher.
I don't
Oh well,
know.
it was worth a try.
Yeah, it
Yes,
was worth a
it-
try.
It was definitely worth a try. All right.
Yes.
And thank you for keeping me honest with that regard. All right, it is A's turn. A does exactly what I said A would do. Hyperventilates and runs forward with the short sword. And because Rouge, we're going to attack with advantage. A 25 is going to hit. Let me check the various things. Yeah, a 25 will hit and not be mitigated. Cool.
Ooh.
So we're going to press the damage button and do 9 points of damage. But also, I'm looking at the core spawn worm's character sheet for sneak attack damage. And I'm very glad I didn't find it. All right, 18 points of sneak attack damage. Helper NPC's turn is done. Cavil,
Apple gets a turn. Dun, dun, dun.
I don't think 3 Eldritch Blasts are going to take it down.
Nope. Curses.
You could try 4.
No, I could not. That is a higher level.
Well, I didn't say you get them all done in one turn.
Do I actually know that spell? No, I do not. So what's my actual highest spell slot level? Oh, right, they don't combine because of that. But I do need to check if do I just also know that for real? Huh, I think I do. And I think I took the thing that my staff can already do for some reason. Anyway, that means I can use a 5th level slot. Cavil casts Spirit Guardians.
I think what I said before was I'm going to count when it's its turn, but it
Yeah.
doesn't have to enter the space. It just has to be in the space.
Oh,
on its
Spirit
turn.
Guardians doesn't have that issue.
Oh,
That's
no,
Guardian
that's
of
a different
Faith.
one.
Yeah.
Spirit Guardian, Guardian of Faith, they sound like the main brand and the knockoff brand for the same item at the grocery store.
Also, all alignment aside, they appear fiendish and do necrotic damage because I am a fiend-packed warlock.
Okay. But it needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
It will, yes.
Okay, on its turn?
And I used 5th level slot, yes, on its turn.
Okay.
So the damage will be 5d8, and I'm going to roll the damage right now just to see if it... Yes, thank goodness. Okay, I'm not
All
going
right.
to roll the damage right now, but
You were clicking the button to make sure it would work properly. All right.
yeah.
Well, the thing is, though, Hobby gets a turn before the core spawn worm gets a turn, so it might not get to take any damage from this. All right.
We'll find out.
Yes, it is Magpie's turn.
Magpie's staying up here.
You sure? Magpie doesn't have an interest in swooping in to being all heroic?
Magpie does not wish to go down and attempt to take the help action. Magpie knows how many hit points it has, and that is not many.
I had to say something. And with that, it's the moment we've all been waiting for. Hobby, it is your turn. You may do a thing.
Dun, dun, dun! Oh my gosh, I can do a thing. Well, let's see. First of all, where'd it go? Where the criff did I put that?
Probably on your character sheet.
Yes, I'm going to do. You are going down.
Vow
Vow
of
of
enmity.
Bonus action. Vow of enmity against a creature you can see within. Oh, it's within 10 feet. Well, it's a
Well,
bonus
you can run
action.
forward and then say you're going down.
Let's see. How many? 1, 2, 3. Skip just. I mean, I would go here, but then I'll
Skip
be in its
Jimaloo.
bounding box.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Please
So-
don't stay in the bounding box.
Yeah, that was hard to get out of, you know.
All right, I will slide here. Go. Hi. You're going down. Vow of enmity. Okay, Channel Divinity, 10 feet, can see it, gain advantage on attack rolls against a creature for 1 minute or until it drops to 0 hit points or falls unconscious. Dun dun dun.
I was going
And
to make a
then-
joke about you not being able to see it, but also on this character sheet, it says that it gives off faint illumination for 20 feet.
Also, I have blind sight.
There's also that. Dagger +2.
And I get advantage, I do believe, or no? You can
It's
take the full one
currently
if you want.
engaged with several party members. They haven't set a date yet. It's a very odd polycule.
Yes, but I'm not a kobold.
But you are a rogue.
That's true.
Yes. And
Although if I burn
kobolds
my
had pack
advantage,
tactics
I
because they were based off of rogues.
right.
What was that?
If I wait a minute, if I burn my advantage on it there, does that mean I don't get to sneak attack it?
I would argue you definitely get a sneak attack it.
Okay.
But that was a 21 to hit, and it does hit.
Okay. So that's gonna get damage for the first damage. That's a normal one. That's a mere 8.
I like how we start off with rolling a d4.
And now I'm going to do my smite, and I don't need this level 1 spell
Could
here.
you
So
do me a favor? Roll the sneak attack one first.
oh, all right. Okay, I'll roll the sneak attack first, if you say so. Tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. There's my sneak attack.
5d6.
There's a 20,
All right, I will apply that.
so that's a 28. So now
All
can I
right,
apply
and-
my smite?
Yes, please do.
Okay, I will apply my smite, and where's my smite? It's right here. Okay. Tra la 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 la. There's my divine smite. Okay, we're gonna do damage. Yes,
All right.
and there's 9.
2 things happen. The first is the worm takes 9 points of radiant damage. The second thing is it uses an ability called Radiant Mirror.
Oh, what a criffing nuisance.
Yes.
Ouch.
When the worm takes radiant damage, each creature within 20 feet takes that damage as well. So it still takes the damage, but so does A.
Ouch.
So does Mech. So do you. So does pretty much everyone.
Magpie, are you okay?
Yeah, Magpie's within 20 feet. Magpie takes 9 points of radiant damage.
Is Magpie
What do you
okay?
mean I'm within
Oh, you're flying.
I am
Yes,
15 feet up. We are 15 feet up.
and
I am not
away.
within 20 feet of it, am I? Or I don't...
I'm
Oh, no,
not
wait,
going
I
to
have to
Pythagorean
be in
theorem
order
it.
to use the sphere. So I guess I have to be down. Okay.
Well, I'll say again,
Sorry.
if your character is within 20 feet, 9 points of radiant damage. If not, you don't take it.
What am I rolling for this?
we're not.
We're
we
not.
just have to take damage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And you are raging, but your rage doesn't make you take half damage for radiant. So you're going to take
Right.
the full 9.
Okay.
Where's
How do I-
Magpie?
How do I roll this out?
Magpie's under you, or right at the corner
Oh,
of
in
your...
recurring NPCs. That's... Okay, yeah, Magpie goes poof.
Sorry!
Oh.
Magpie's resummonable, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you apply that, or do I apply that?
It is...
Let's see, -9. Yes, that does it. Okay, I applied it
Alright.
to me.
I
So
have no idea
need
what
to-
numbers I'm doing at all.
So I'm going to do this for you. But
Okay.
when you click on your hit points, if you type the minus sign and then the number of damage that you're taking and press enter, it maths it for you.
Oh, okay. Let me try that.
So that's
No, it's okay.
I have
It's
already
been
done it.
done.
I just did
I've
it.
already done it. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So it took you from
Cool.
160 down to 151.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
Is there anything else that Hobby is doing now that you've wounded everyone and killed a familiar?
Well, I've used my bonus action, I've used my move, I've used my action, and I don't... Do I get another action? I don't get double hits, do I?
I don't think you have enough
No,
levels in
sadly.
Paladin for that.
And rogues don't get double hits.
Alas.
Alas. We get sneak attack instead.
Yes.
I see.
Which-
Obviously, I need more paladin. How many paladin do I need to get 2 attacks?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
5.
5. Oh, that's only 2 levels away. All right, just so I know.
Well,
okay.
it is the core spawn worm's turn because we've reached -2 in the initiative order.
Oh, okay.
Because initiative doesn't just go from 0 to 23. This does not mean that the core spawn worm technically goes at 21. So Tex is still going at 23 as the first one. But with that said, core spawn worm makes 2 attacks. One's with barbed tentacles and one's with bite. So what it's going to do is it's going to swing its head in an arc and it's going to hit one of the characters in front of it with barbed tentacles.
Did it make its wisdom save?
Oh, thank you for
Oh.
reminding me. That is useful information. Also, thank you for reminding me that the Spirit Guardians are doing necrotic damage, not radiant.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
actually turned out to be important.
Very
Very.
important, yes.
Mhm.
It got a dirty 20 for the wisdom saving throw.
Okay, it will take half damage then.
All right. Well, half damage is still damage. So half of 23 is 11 because it mathed it for me. All right. It doesn't like that, but you imagine it. There's not a whole lot that it does like. It
Trying
does
to
like
bite people.
it does like using barbed tentacles. So when it swings its head, it's going to try to hit Tex with that. That's a 27 to hit.
Oh, that does hit.
And that's going to be, let's see here. What else does this do? Okay, 5d6 plus 8 piercing damage, and the target is grappled, escape DC 18. Until this grapple ends, the target is restrained. Tentacles can grapple only one creature at a time. So, that is going to be 20 points of piercing damage. And sadly, Tex, you're going to have to wait until your turn to break free of the grapple. I know it's going to be a very long time from now. Wait, never mind. And it's also going to attempt to bite, but it's actually going to try to bite somebody else. It's splitting these up. I am going to roll a d3. Actually, I'm just going to roll a d4 because there's 4 of you right there.
No, that's right.
Oh, it is going to try to bite Tex. I rolled a 1.
It caught this one. Now it wants to bite this one, apparently.
Yes. That's a dirty 20.
That will miss.
Welcome to high-level adventuring. Oh, there's a smile on my face. I love that those 2 sentences were said in that order. I really do. Somehow it goes to bite somebody that it has grappled in barbed tentacles and misses. It bites its tentacle. It's the core worm equivalent of biting its tongue.
Oh, wow.
Launch.
It's not miss so much as that I just have a lot of armor on.
Mm-hmm.
There is a crunch. It's like a dog chewing on a bone. It doesn't get through, though. All right. So that's its turn.
Okay.
Okay. Am I waiting for a lair action or?
This is not its lair.
Oh.
This is the Major Lemo's lair.
Technically, it is the Red Death's lair. We're all guests, except for the core worm. You kill the core worm.
The core worm is not a guest. It is an invader.
Yes.
It was not invited.
Definitely not on the guest list. So, Tex, it is definitely your turn.
Okay. That's what I was waiting for.
So first is going to be escaping a grapple check.
Yes. And I'm using Peerless Athlete as a bonus action.
As a bonus action, you use your Channel Divinity to augment your athleticism, which lets you roll a 24. You very easily break free. A lot of people viewing this are wondering if you were ever really grappled.
I let it think I was, so I could get it to bite me.
It was a common ploy. All right. And I've heard different stories about how grapple checks work and how getting out of them counts as an action or not, but I'm going to say definitely doesn't for this group at 8:28 p.m.
Good to know.
Fair enough. I need to check something real quick.
Everyone check that box on your bingo card.
Okay. I'm glad I checked it. There was I was checking Crusher to see if I could move the core worm. But no, it's quite a bit larger than me.
You push it back into the lava, saying nope, nope, nope.
Yes, but apparently it likes lava.
Why else would it try to make a home in a volcano? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I am still going to say nope several times.
With a 26 for your attack roll, you are definitely saying nope very clearly and firmly. With a 28, you are saying it clearly and firmly with a rolled up newspaper. Yes, those both hit. I had to double check because a 25 is frequently an attack roll for this group, but no, that's the damage.
Yeah.
And did you roll damage for the second attack, or?
That's included in the 25.
Okay. And your action surging, because two good hits deserve 2 more. Unfortunately, a 14 and a 12, neither of those are going over the AC.
Okay. I'm narrowing down on what the AC actually is. A 14 doesn't hit, an 18 does.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But that's my
It
turn.
is bloodied, by the way.
Oh, wow, that's good.
It's bleeding lava. Well, it looks like lava. Don't eat that.
Oh.
I wasn't intending. Who would do that? What was that, Ellie?
Actually, I am gonna use this goading attack one more time. It does 7 more damage, and it has to make a wisdom saving throw, DC 17.
All right, 7 more damage. And a wisdom saving throw. What did you say the target number was?
17.
20.
All right. I think this thing is wiser than it's letting on.
Mm-hmm.
But worth a try.
It's not that wise, but it has a proficiency bonus. I do
Fair
not know why the devs gave it a proficiency bonus in wisdom.
Probably because it didn't look wise, so everyone was going to hit it with the spells that were wisdom resisted.
There is literally nothing in the lore for this thing that makes me think, oh yes, it's book smart.
I mean, wisdom is not that's not the book smart, is it? It's the that would be intelligence. Wisdom.
After
It's
this
probably
fight, I
stubborn.
will share its scores with you. This thing,
Excellent.
this is the
Okay.
box of rocks.
Yes, but it's
Lava
a stubborn
rocks,
box.
but still.
It's a stubborn box. Obviously, it's a stubborn box. Okay.
In the meantime, it's 8:30, and we should let Mac go.
It is Mech's turn again, yes.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So I think what I'm gonna do is let's see. What can I do right now?
You could
Right,
serenade
okay.
it. You could try
No,
to
she doesn't
bargain with
sing.
it. You could tap dance to
Hit
try
it.
to entertain it. You could hit it
Right,
twice with
right.
your great axe.
I could do that. Yeah, let's do that one. And let's see, where did I put that?
You could throw A at it.
No.
Oh. So Hobby.
Okay.
Hobby has more pointy bits.
Oh my gosh, probably. I'm gonna just go with the great axe for this one. At normal, I think.
Oh, fine. Take the optimal option.
Yes.
A 22 is going to hit.
Okay. Cool.
So roll your
Yeah.
damage.
Okay, damage.
All right. I'll apply that 11. Go ahead and attack
Okay.
again.
Okay.
And a dirty 20 is also going to hit. So roll your damage again.
Okay. Okay. 9.
All right. FYI, I really enjoy it when I see a die roll and bounce off of the side of the window.
Yeah, that's kind of fun.
Sometimes 2 or 3 times. That amuses me greatly. All right. So,
Yeah,
for your turn,
there
you
we
hit
are.
it a lot. Awesome.
Yes.
All right.
That's what I was made for.
A is going to try to hit it once because that's all A can do. Because A is assuming that psychic damage won't work on it.
That's pretty fair, really.
But that's a crit.
Good job,
Hooray.
eh?
I think that's a second crit.
Maybe.
Good for A.
Mm-hmm.
And that's 2 1s.
Oh no.
Oh, well.
Face my pointy wrath.
But the sneak attack also crits.
Yes, it does. Face the wrath of exactly 16 paper cuts. Technically, that was a Jedi who can take 16 wounds. Preferably not all at once.
Indeed.
Ooh.
That's 37 points of sneak attack damage. And this thing is still moving because it's big. Cavil. All right, that is 1 Eldritch Blast, 2 Eldritch Blasts, 3
Two of those rolled a
Eldritch
2.
Blasts. One of those Eldritch Blasts does damage. I'll let you pick which one.
I
Is
would
the
be
24.
very concerned if it was one of the ones that was a 2 on the die, because that is not going to do damage to the enemy.
Somehow it ricocheted just right.
If a 2
Alright.
is going to do damage, it's going to do damage to one of my friends. I would like it not to.
It flies through the space where Magpie used to be.
Oh.
All right, I have applied the 5 points of Eldritch Blast damage. Is there anything else that Cavil is doing? Io?
Yes. Sorry, I was checking people's hit points.
This is why I've started asking that question instead of just assuming. All right. I like how
And I
this
am
is giving
going
me
to...
the option of applying the 13 points of healing from Healing Word to the Correspond Worm.
Let's not. Let's heal Tex.
I suppose. All right, so Tex is getting 13 points of healing.
Mm-hmm.
Beat me to it.
Apply. Well, Hobby.
Hobby is just highly annoyed here, extremely annoyed. Hobby is going to stab it. Actually, does it look like it's going to stand up to us for another round or so?
It is bloody and battered. You're not sure that you'll be the one to give it a death blow, but you're fairly certain that unless it runs away, it's not going to survive much longer.
Okay. Stabbity stab. Stabby stab with the dagger.
Okay.
Pretty sure I'm supposed. Son of a.
That's another 2.
I'm going to use my inspiration.
More
I'm gonna
2s
stab
have been
that.
rolled tonight than 20s.
A lot of 2s have
Think
been
about-
rolled tonight.
That's another 2! Oh.
You've got Foundry working, but the dice are rigged.
For 2s.
I haven't been rolling 2s.
You somehow managed to load everybody else's dice.
Into the shotgun. It's usually filled with rock salt. All right.
Just a moment. I want to see if I have a bonus action that would do anything at all useful for me. It's probably not going to make it through another set, so I don't have any good bonus actions. I'm just gonna sulk. Okay,
Tell us how you really feel.
sulk.
Did I move
Well-
accidentally or did I get moved?
I think you moved accidentally.
Okay.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I've been scrolling up to Spirit Guardians because it is the worm's
It's
turn.
Spirit Guardians time.
The worm has turned. So,
Spirit Guardians.
Spirit Guardians. That's a 9. It does not
So
save.
now it fails to save.
Cavill, I'm gonna need you to scroll up for half an hour to roll for damage.
That was too far up. No, it was not. No, it was not. It was not up enough.
You keep scrolling until you think you've scrolled too far, and then when you think you've scrolled too far, you keep scrolling, and then do a 21 points of necrotic damage applied. And now it is time for the core spawn worm to do things. I'm
Not
going to roll.
things.
Yes, things.
No things.
I have rolled a 2.
I hope that was its attack.
No, I rolled a 2 on a d4 to see who it was going to attack.
Oh. Hi.
Hello, Hobby.
I use my reaction to impose disadvantage on the roll.
Then I shall roll again.
For the attack?
Well, the second roll was a nat 1.
Oh my.
I'm glad I brought it up.
Does it like
Well, just
try to,
reveal that.
smack the I see it. It smacks like right beside me and
It tried
goes,
to
ow, ow, ow.
It tried to snag you with the barbed tentacle, but it tried to snag you with the one that it bit previously
Oopsie.
while
Also-
chewing on.
Tex interposed her shield between the tentacle and Hobby.
There was a series of unfortunate events. I'm going to roll another d4 to see who it's going after for its other thing. That's a 3. It's going to go after Mech. I'm sure that's going to work out fine for it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Hmm. Okay.
That's a 25 to hit, so it will hit.
Okay.
And now I have to look at what it is doing. So, first of all, it's going to be doing 5d8 plus 8 piercing damage, except that's going to get reduced by half because you
Okay.
are angry.
Raging the whole time.
Yeah, no bite you angy. I will apply that for you. It's going to be 17 points after it's reduced.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
So, if the target is a large or smaller creature, it must succeed on a DC 18 dexterity saving throw. So, what you're going to need to do, can I do this? Ooh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So, do you see where it says DC 18 dexterity saving throw in the chat?
In the chat. Okay. Hold on.
In
Normal?
the Foundry chat.
In the Foundry chat.
It would be
Yeah,
the most
that's where I'm
recent
at.
message.
Okay. Yeah. So I think it's
Okay,
just
go ahead
normal.
and click on that. And click normal, yeah.
Okay.
That's
20.
a dirty 20. Okay, you succeed. You are not swallowed whole.
Woo! Oh, good.
Yes. Which means you will not be blinded and restrained. You will not have total cover against attacks and other effects outside the worm. And you will not take additional fire damage.
All right. Good to know.
So we won't need to worry about any of that. Instead, we will move on to Tex's turn.
Drop it.
What's that in your mouth? A raging barbarian. Drop it. They always give you an upset stomach. Because they carve themselves out. Okay. The 23 and the 19 are both going to hit for your chain breaker attacks. 18 points of drop it damage. Anything else?
Yes. Yeah.
A distracting strike. When you hit with a weapon attack, you expend one superiority die to add the die roll to the next attack roll against the target by an attacker other than you. No, the next attack roll by an attacker other than you has advantage.
Yes. And that's 5 more damage.
Okay. And because of the
And
trick
that's my
that you
turn.
found out, I don't even have to math it.
Yep.
No one told my math teacher from high school. He said it wasn't going to be like I was going to have a calculator everywhere I go. Shows what he knew. My video games have calculators now. Anyway, with Tex's turn done, it is now Mech's turn.
Okay. Gonna do the
Okay,
same thing
so,
as before, I think.
You could choose to run in terror. That is an option that is open. Someone here could run in terror.
Mm-hmm.
Or I suppose you could try to hit it with an axe with advantage because of what Tex did.
Okay, so we're gonna do that.
Mm-hmm.
23.
Okay. Roll it again. A 23 is
Okay.
going to hit, but roll again to see if you get a nat 20.
Okay.
Let's
14.
take the 23.
Yeah, let's take the 23. That
Go
sounds
ahead and
good.
roll damage.
Okay, so damage is 12.
All right. I'm applying that.
All right.
And you get
Cool.
another attack. This one will not be at advantage, though. This one will be normal.
Okay, so let me try that again.
You still could run away. You still have your movement.
I know.
Okay, that's a 12.
12. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. It's on the ropes. And by ropes, I
Mhm.
mean it's on a volcano floor.
Yeah.
There's no actual ropes here. Those burned away.
Mhm.
It is A's turn. A is not going to do sneak attack. A has not tried to hit it with a sword yet. Well, A is crying his best.
Crying is best. Poor A.
Cavill,
Yes. Yes, let's.
21 Eldritch Blast. And a 21
21
Eldritch Blast. And a 23 Eldritch Blast.
Pew, pew, pew.
Mm-hmm.
All right. A 7, a 3, and a 4. How do you want to do this?
Ooh.
Aha!
Excellent.
The same way I conduct the finishing blow on the other worms.
Zappity zap.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But you are not Lord Zappy Zap. That's somebody else entirely. They
Yes,
would
that's
sue
somebody
for
very
infringement. Also, they're in a
And
galaxy
once
far,
more.
far away.
Mm-hmm.
One more time. Hobby doesn't get a turn.
It's okay. Hobby is will live with this. After all, Cavill got to do it.
I would allow Hobby to do a smite anyway.
No.
Oh.
Hobby is not smiting this thing. Apparently it's immune to smite. Well, not immune to smite. The smite
It's
is
not
a
immune,
problem.
but it shares. It's a very giving creature. I gotta say,
if Hobby were alone, that would be something to do because Hobby has an entertaining thing which is absorb elements as a reaction, which would lessen the effects on the incoming energy and store it for the next melee attack, and have resistance to the triggering damage type until the start of the next turn.
well, I'm going to say, when Cavill casts that spell that does necrotic damage, but normally doesn't do necrotic damage. I bit my tongue and thought, there's gonna be a reckoning that they don't know about.
Yes, well.
And we're gonna cut to Mo going, no. I said help from the back. I didn't say destroy your party from the back. Not the same thing. Unless it has to be. Depends on the party. Wait. You like these people. No. Never mind. However, with the Zappy Zap that utterly destroys what's left of this core worm, we are going to end it here because it's nearly 9 p.m. And we'll worry
Anyone want
about...
to go in that and see if there are potions?
A dives almost headfirst into the gore.
No, look out for that.
A knows someone in the party can cast Prestidigitation.
That's true.
I'm just thinking back to how being swallowed deals fire damage.
It's a little warm.
Tonight you've been joined.
By a bunch of awesome people, including Beth, Ellie, Eo, and Jen. Who would like to plug a thing?
Eo's mom writes books at elizabethmccoy.com. And you can also ask your library to look for those ebooks on their Overdrive catalog. And if your library buys them, then you get to read them for free. And they're cheap for the library, and the library is happy to be useful. And get your library to buy them, because it's so cool when I see that libraries have bought it. And speaking of cool books...
Okay. One of my websites is bookofjen.net, and I put up whatever I'm interested in at the moment. It's been going on for a long time, and I don't always put everything every day, but it's at bookofjen.net. There's also shatteredsoulstone.com, which I am trying to actually pick up the podcast on it again soon. So we'll just see how that goes, but it's at shatteredsoulstone.com.
And speaking of websites,
yeah.
all these podcasts are over at aaronbsmith.com/cogwheel. You can follow us on the Fediverse at is.aaronbsmith.com/@cogwheel. And you can support us on Patreon by going to patreon.com/cogwheelgaming and help us keep the lights on, along with other illustrious patrons, including Ellie, Shan Chen, Walter, Liv Droman, and patron emeritus Cindy. And until next time, this is Crash saying,
Wow, they did it. And they never suspected a thing. Quiet you.
good night, everybody.
Night.